Bonjour y'all, my name is Preeta and I am the Pink Ravenclaw. On November 30th, I tweeted out a thing and it gathered a lot more attention than most of my Harry Potter tweets. So even though that was more than a month ago, I wanted to address some of the comments and questions that people had about Professor Garlick and why it matters that she is queer. In case you missed it, Hogwarts Legacy tweeted out some interesting tidbits about a few of the professors we will see in the game. For Dinah Hackett and Aesop Sharp, probably not pronouncing those correctly, we didn't learn anything about their relationship status. However, for Abraham Ronan and Mirabel Garlick, we did. Here's a specific line from the first Hogwarts Legacy teaser. Professor Ronan allegedly met his wife during an especially lively Gobstones tournament. The statement tells us that 1, Professor Ronan is married, and 2, he's married to a woman. In pop culture fiction, opposite sex relationships almost always mean a character is straight as opposed to bisexual. Here are the specific lines from the second Hogwarts Legacy teaser. Professor Garlick's sunny demeanor and flowery language charm students and colleagues alike, prompting some students to worry she may one day leave them for another greenhouse. But Mirabel Garlick would never leave her students, so even if the right witch were to come along, she'd simply have to love Hogwarts as much as Mirabel does. It's subtle, but these statements tell us that 1, Professor Garlick is unmarried, and 2, she's attracted to women. Because the statement doesn't mention the right witch or wizard, we can infer that she is gay as opposed to bisexual. So here we have a straight, married professor and a gay, unmarried professor. Essentially, we have the same information about 2 professors in Hogwarts Legacy, but fans reacted quite differently to these different revelations. Why? First, let me share why I react differently. I didn't react at all to the details about Professor Ronan's wife. However, I excitedly retweeted the detail that Professor Garlick is queer. As a queer woman myself, I don't always see myself represented in media, especially since I'm bisexual, and even shows with some LGBTQ representation often forget about us. I'm looking at you, pretty little liars, who changed Emily's bisexuality from the books. Representation matters. People want to see characters in pop culture who reflect ourselves. We want to see our race, our gender, our bodies, and yes, our sexual orientation. The original Harry Potter books are extremely white and heteronormative, which, to be fair, are partly a reflection of when and where they were written. However, the expanded Wizarding World, which includes the play Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, the Fantastic Beasts films, and yes, the Harry Potter video games, includes more diverse characters. I actually have an entire video on LGBTQ representation in the Wizarding World, so check that out if you want to learn more. Hogwarts Legacy is the newest addition to the Wizarding World, and I love that the creators wanted to be an inclusive game. It makes sense for them to include at least 1 queer character. Those are my thoughts on queer representation, and a lot of you feel the same way. In fact, the overwhelming response was positive, not just to my tweet, but to content by other Hogwarts Legacy fans. Most people are excited for queer representation. However, some people responded negatively, and I wanted to address those comments. I have paraphrased the negative responses to cover the recurring themes I noticed from different people. Why do fictional characters have to have sexualities? Sexuality is part of the human experience. Harry's crush on Cho first shows up in the 3rd book. It's normal for teenagers to kiss and to date, which is why so many stories about teenagers include their romantic relationships. Also, if characters shouldn't have sexualities, that means all characters, not just queer characters. This is a common double standard in pop culture criticism. There's a great analysis of people who criticized the same-sex kiss in the Pixar film Lightyear, which I'll link in the description down below. Critics explicitly denounced how the kiss was between two women. These folks reference bad values, the LGBTQRSTUVWXY gender ideology, and problematic gay sex scenes. Many suggested Disney was forcing a woke agenda. They use phrases like shoving down our throats, Disney is coming for our children, grooming, infiltrate, and twist the minds of little kids. Some even worried about transgender Buzz Lightyear and drag queen Bo Peep. And yet, there isn't similar concern or outrage for the many, many, many male-female kisses throughout Pixar films. The negative response to Professor Garlick being gay is a double standard, unless you're also upset that Professor Ronan is straight. Characters should only have a sexuality if it adds to the story. Again, I go back to Professor Ronan. If we don't need to know about Professor Garlick's relationship status and sexual orientation, then we also do not need to know about Professor Ronan's relationship status and sexual orientation. Also, right now, we don't know the story of Hogwarts Legacy. All of these tiny inconsequential details about classmates and professors could connect to the story. We won't know until we play the game. So complaining that these little early details don't connect to the story, it just doesn't make any sense. Why do people care about who characters in a children's game want to... Okay, first of all, sexual orientation is about more than just sex. Dating is an option in a lot of video games, including the mobile game Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery. Players have been asking if dating will be an option in Hogwarts Legacy. Dating in Hogwarts Mystery is quite sweet and simple, with only an occasional rare kiss. If it's an option in Hogwarts Legacy, I imagine it will be similar. Second, let's go back to Professor Ronan. Either you have a problem with knowing he's having sex with a woman, or you have a double standard. I'm guessing from the response and the way these questions were worded, people have a double standard. That's not all that I have for y'all today. I tried to keep this video succinct. I just wanted to address the recurring points, criticisms that I saw about Professor Garlick being queer. If you're interested in more content about queer representation in Hogwarts Legacy, tell me in the comments down below, because I have more thoughts on this. I also already did a video on character creation in Hogwarts Legacy, pointing out that we have the ability to create transgender characters. Thank y'all so much for watching. As always, keep reading and stay sparkly.